Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you this morning. It's another beautiful day here in coastal Virginia. The sun is shining. I had to draw the curtains on the uh, patio door just to my right. The sun was shining in and kind of messing up the image, but here we are. It's chilly outside. The autumn is in the air. It's my favorite time of year. I'm grateful to be here with you to share it. So let's begin, as has become our tradition, with our breathing exercise. And so we will breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And I was describing the breathing process over on my new Facebook page called Mystic Paul. So if you want to go over there and check that out, that'd be nice. Um, and it went like this. It went breathe in to a count of four, one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi. Hold for the same count and breathe out at the same pace. And so we will begin. Breathe in, one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi. Hold, one Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi, and breathe out. One Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi. That gives us our time in between and we know what to do. So now we'll eliminate all instruction and we will simply do our breathing practice for the morning. And so we begin. We breathe in, hold, breathe out. And we return to our beautiful bodies we're so grateful for. We shake our fingers, move our legs a little bit, get back into our bodies, get set in the chair, and away we go. So today I want to talk about that we have constant and total access to all of God all the time. And it's us. It's I am. It's who I am. And I know I talk about this like every day, but it's so important because most of us have a reoccurring forgetfulness on who I am. And as a result, I begin acting as though I'm this body. And when I act as though I'm this body, the overall and glorious power that is given unto me as a result of the presence of God is incredible. Hello, Jim. It's good to see you this morning. We are really, really, really powered to do all that is in front of us with great ease and great success. And the beautiful thing about being right here in 2020 is that there's been lots and lots of people who are very learned, very knowledgeable, and have gotten great results from these understandings that have written beautiful words that I can share with you so that you don't have to listen to the less than, well, I don't want to say less than beautiful, but not as beautiful words that may come out of my mouth. So this morning I'm going to share with you an author. Her name is H. Emily Cady. She wrote a book called Lessons in Truth. It was published at the turn of the 20th century and presented to the general population. Her favorite spiritual writings was the Bible. She refers to it a lot. And yet, as we all know who are students of truth, every book of every conscious spiritual practice basically says the same thing. Realize that which is inside, and nirvana and or enlightenment and or samadhi and or ascension will arrive. And so I'm going to read a bit for you today from Emily Cady's book, Lessons in Truth. Good morning, Mary Lee. So we're in the second chapter, and I think it's the second chapter. Hold on a minute. Let me double. It's the third chapter, and it's the title for the chapter is Thinking, and we're on page 31, and we're going to begin with the second sentence of the second full paragraph, which begins, "We are writing for the children who, without question or discussion, are willing at once to accept and try a few plain, simple rules, such as the Christed consciousness taught the common people who heard him gladly." And that's from Mark 6:20. Rules by which they can find the divine within themselves. That thought that through it each man for himself may work out his own salvation from all his troubles. That's a pretty beautiful statement right there. We are writing for the children who, without question or discussion, are willing at once to accept and try a few plain, simple rules, such as the Christed taught the common people who heard him gladly. Again, that's from Mark 6:20. Rules by which they can find the divine within themselves, that through it each man for himself, each woman for herself, each human being for themselves may work out their trouble, their own salvation from all of their current frustrations. In other words, there is a shortcut to the top of the hill where there is a good but long roundabout road for those who need it. We prefer the less laborious means of attaining the same end by seeking directly the Spirit of truth promised to dwell in us and to lead us into all truth. Ms. Cady says, my advice, if you want to make a rapid progress and growth towards spiritual understanding, stop reading many books. They only give you someone's opinion about truth or a sort of history of the author's experience in seeking truth. What you want is revelation of truth in your own soul. And that will never come through the reading of many books. Seek light from the Spirit of truth within you. Go alone. Think alone. Seek light alone. And if it does not come at once, do not be discouraged and run off to someone else to get light. For, as we said before, by so doing, you get only the opinion of the intellect and may be then further away from the truth you are seeking than before. For the mortal mind may make false reports. The very Spirit of truth is at your call within you. Again, from the Bible, the anointing that you received from him abides in you. That's from 1 John, second paragraph, 27th verse. Seek it, wait patiently for it to guide you into all truth. That's from John 6:13, about all things. Let the same mind be in you that was in the Christed Jesus. This is the universal mind, which makes no mistakes. Still, the intellect for the time being, cancel that. Still, the intellect for the time being, and let universal mind speak to you. When it speaks, though it may be a still small voice, which is from 1 Kings, you will know that what it says is truth. How will you know? You will know just as you know that you are alive. All the argument in the world to convince you against truth that comes to you through direct revelation will fall flat and harmless at your side. And the truth that you know, not simply believe, you can use to help others. That which comes forth through your spirit will reach the very innermost spirit of him or her or them to whom you speak. What is born from the outside or intellectual perception reaches only the intellect of those persons. The intellect that is the servant of the real mind, and when servant, but not when master, is good, loves to argue. But when its information is based on the evidence of the senses and not on the true thoughts of the divine mind, it is very fallible and full of errors. Intellect argues. Spirit takes the deep things of God and reveals truth to man. One may be true, the other always is true. Spirit but does not give opinion about truth, it is truth, and it reveals itself. Just like I am alive. How do you know you're alive? I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm experiencing. I'm understanding. I'm knowing. We are taught from the day we breathe our first breath that we are this body and that we are born in a condition that causes us pain and misunderstanding. We need to be taught what is right and what is wrong. The reality is that we know what is right and what is wrong without any teaching whatsoever. What happens is that the environment in which we live in and that which we observe in our young infant life often contradicts what we know in our inherent self to be true. And we rebel against that. And we must be inundated with teaching that what we are seeing that we know is false is in fact true. Therein lies the absolute foundation of fear for each and every human being. Therein lies the whole process of the human experience. We are born open, knowing, and understanding. We are taught opposite of knowing and understanding. And we must embrace of our own free will, of choice, to again experience and own what is so. And that is where technique, that is where prayer, that is where meditation becomes a valuable tool. We must overcome the fear. We are taught from the absolute beginning that the greatest fear is that we will cease breathing, that we will die. But what we know when we realize we are that which animates this body is that we are, I am an eternal being. I am forever. I am created in the image and likeness of God. I am a facet of the diamond of God. I am a drop of the ocean of God. There is zero separation between I am and God, all that is. Once that becomes so, then the rest of it literally falls off. In one teaching that I like, with principles that I employ, says it's like peeling back the layers of an onion. And the further we come to the center, the closer we realize that all is well. All is well. That's where the practice of breathing is so important. The breathing practice releases us in that moment from our belief that I am this body. There's calmness that comes over us. There's peace that comes over us. There's knowingness that comes over us when we simply let go and choose it to be. I am free and you are free. I am the thinker. I am the child of God wherever I am. You are the child of God wherever you are. You are endowed with every good that is God. It is you. It is me. It is I am. That is the knowing. That is ascension. Realizing that raises us. We can feel it. We get chill bumps. We can experience the presence of our own divine center simply by asking to experience it. It is the doer. It is the motivator. The mind, the body, the intellect, the emotion are the vehicle. Simply the vehicle through which the essential aspect of every being manifests. And as humans on this planet Earth of free choice, of free will, we get to choose to be the expression of that still small voice within, or the expression of our intellect and our emotions. Prayer and meditation are incredibly important to keep us centered on who we are. The prayer says in words who I am, and the meditation allows me to calm and experience that still small voice within. That is empowering. That brings peace and joy and understanding. That brings knowledge. That brings wisdom. I am the presence of God wherever I am. You are the presence of God wherever you are. All is well within us. We are, all of us, well taken care of. The only thing that separates us from that care is an opinion of our mind and emotions that it's not there. All is well. I salute you as the presence of God wherever you are. I acknowledge your power, your wisdom, your understanding. Namaste, namaste, namaste.